Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the weekly live chat. It is April 27th, 2022, which is crazy how fast this time is going by. And it looks like I'm a little bit sunburnt now that I'm looking into the camera right now. But thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to answer all your questions about MMA. There's a bunch of different stuff going on right now. There's so much news. We got UFC Vegas 53 coming up, the fight night this Saturday. We got UFC 274, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. We got the Nate Diaz situation. We got the Francis Ngannou situation. We got some talk about Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor 3. We got John Jones versus Stipe. And who knows what else I've missed. That's why I love doing these live chats, because some of you guys ask me about stuff that literally I don't even know. I haven't even heard yet. I'm sure there's probably been fight announcements that I've missed recently. I'm actually going to pull up the news real quick. Pull up a website just to see if there's anything really recent that I saw. But guys, this is the 54th ever weekly live chat. We currently have, I like to try to do an update on here. We currently have 2,668 subscribers. It seems like every video that I've been recently putting out has been doing pretty good. If you guys haven't seen my prediction video for this Saturday, go check it out after the live stream. I would greatly appreciate it. And guys, fill the chat with questions. I'm just checking briefly on the news. Khamzat Chimaev soars into the top 3. Corey Anderson ignites 205-pound debate. John Jones targets September return for Stipe Miocic fight. I want a heavyweight GOAT at his absolute best, okay? And TJ Dillashaw versus Aljamain Sterling. You know, there's been that back and forth. So really, we can talk about whatever. You guys know how it goes. But of course, I want to talk about the most recent news. If you haven't already, do me a favor and like the stream. I would appreciate it. And also, if you're watching for the first time and you're not subscribed, make sure to go subscribe this very second. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, let's see what the chat is now saying. Okay, and I had a little technical difficulties. That's why I was a few minutes late, but it wasn't too bad. Luckily, I got it fixed. What's up, Fight Life Nation? Hope you're doing well. What's up, Blaze One Sports? What's up, Torin? What's up, Constantly Grown? What's up, French Fries? What's up, Panthers Rule? Hey, Joey, how are you doing? Pretty cool. Chris Curtis called you. I know, insane, right? Saw somebody in the chat, had the name of Chris Curtis. I'm pretty sure I saw him a couple months ago as well. And I didn't really believe it, honestly. That I thought it was just, I mean, people use weird names on YouTube all the time. I did not believe it, and then he video called me, so that was pretty cool. For some reason, I got a notification on my phone for my live chat. If I'm Francis, I'll just leave the UFC. Yeah, but it's easier said than done. I think he will. But Francis Ngannou still has a year on his contract or 3 fights. After that year, he enters into an exclusive negotiating term that's probably at least 3 months, I would say 3 to 6 months, where he can only negotiate with the UFC. And then even after that, he can go talk to other promoters, and if he signs a contract, the UFC has the right to match it. So it's easier said than done for sure. Hey, Joey, how do you like this weekend's main event? How do you rate Vera? I have a full breakdown and prediction video on the channel you should check out after this stream. But I am going with Rob Font. I just think it's going to go to decision. I don't think either guy's getting finished. I don't think either guy's getting out-grappled. And I think Rob Font is just a little bit better boxer. But I think it's a 50-50 fight, and Marlon Vera has great kicks. We saw what he did to Sean O'Malley. He brutalized the legs. He hit the perennial nerve, and then he flash KO'd Sean O'Malley, and then O'Malley was stretchered out of the cage with no serious injury. Who's to say he won't do that to Rob Font? Who knows? He has great kicks. He has a great variety of attacks. He's very durable. He can face adversity and come back. So it's a 50-50 fight. It's my favorite division, and I love both guys, so I can't wait for it. But I'm just going Rob Font just based off, I think he has a little bit crisper boxing. Did you hear about the Derek Lewis fight? I did see that right before I got on. I did see I don't really care about it too much. The Sergey Pavlovich fight, if that's how you pronounce his name, it's probably going to be a knockout win for Derek Lewis. But it's a decent fight. Who did Sergio Pavlovich just fight? Sergio Pavlovich. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Um, who did he just fight? Let's take a look. See. Um, of course, it doesn't say here. Pavlovich, I think is how you pronounce it, actually. But why can't I find this anywhere? Okay, here we go. Shamil Abdurakhimov is who we just fought. Okay. That was back at Volkov Aspinall. I knew that was recent. I knew that was fairly recent where he got the TKO. Yeah, I mean, Derek Lewis could lose, but who knows? What's up, Iceman? I think Sergio beats Lewis. I don't know how, though. Yeah, Derek Lewis, the lower level guys, Derek Lewis just finds a way to KO them. Winner of Font versus Vera should fight Jan next. Depends what the UFC decides to go with Aljamain. You know, it's hard to say. Is he going to fight Jan? He could fight Cejudo. He could fight Dillashaw. All those fights could potentially happen. So who knows what's liable to happen in the bantamweight division. It's a great division, though. The winner could fight Merab as well. I don't think Francis is leaving the UFC. Almost all his big fights are in the UFC. Ngannou himself also said this. Yeah, but if he can get a boxing match and he can make 30 million, that's more than he's going to make for, even 5 UFC fights. And he's getting up there in age. I mean, he's going to go over to boxing and get wrecked. And I guess if he gets paid well, it's worth it. Winner. Okay, read that. Read that. Dana is selfish and I respect Jake for exposing him. Yeah, but Jake's not exposing him for anything other than some cheap clicks. So, unfortunately, I got blocked by Tony Ferguson on Instagram for no reason at all. I was rooting for him to beat Chandler. After that, I was blocked. What did you do? What did you post? Vera hits hard for bantamweight. He's huge, low key. I don't know if he's huge, but he definitely does hit hard. O'Malley was winning the fight until he got hit on the nerve. No, he was not. I hope it's not a main event. It better not, but it probably will be. Tony Block. Yeah, who knows? Dana White is okay. He had Hardy waking up after being TKO, got scared of the ref. Thoughts on Dan Hardy fighting Diego Sanchez? I could not care any less. It's not possible for me to care any less about Dan Hardy, who's been claiming he's going to return for about 50 years against Diego Sanchez. Both guys should be retired. I don't know if that's Eagle FC, Triller. I don't know what that is. I have absolutely no desire to see that fight whatsoever. So I don't really have any thoughts other than it shouldn't really happen. I have no desire to see it. It's an awful fight. To be quite honest, it is an awful fight. Who is Aldo going to fight next if TJ gets the title shot? Let's take a look at the rankings. I should already have the rankings pulled up, honestly. I'm over here confusing Sergey Spivak with Sergio Popovich. Yeah, for a second I thought of the guy just beat Greg Hardy as well. So if TJ gets the Dillashaw. TJ gets the Aljo title shot. I don't want to see Piotr Jan and Aldo too, not for a title. I could do a bantamweight matchmaker. So Dillashaw, Sterling, Jan. You could do Cruz versus Jose Aldo, 2 legends against each other. I wouldn't mind seeing that. You could do Sandhagen versus Merab, which I really would love to see. I think that'd be a very compelling matchup. It's crazy. Merab's sitting at number 6. Marlon almost beat him. Was this close to beating him, and he's retired. The bantamweight division is a lot of fun right now. I see O'Malley has fallen back to 13, which is very interesting. But Cruz, book him against Cruz is what I say. Merab versus Corey, 5-round main event makes sense. There you go, Big Rocker Johnson. I didn't even see that message. I did not even see that message. And there you go. That's the fight to make. Remember when Oscar De La Hoya and Brendan Schaub exposed Dana White for the dirty person he is? I don't trust any of those 3 guys, so I don't know what you're talking about, to be honest. Marco Antonio Barrera versus Ricky Halton would be great 15 years ago. I don't even know who you're talking about, to be honest. I believe we see the shortest title reign ever because TJ Dillashaw will beat Aljo, in my opinion. Well, Aljo has been champion for over a year, so sucks, but it is what it is. I think John Jones might have ring rust, or should I say octagon rust. The guy hasn't fought for 2 years, and double that, we don't know how well he's going to perform carrying more weight. I agree, for sure. It's very possible. It's very, very possible. Dillashaw is a bad matchup for Sterling. Yeah, I think Dillashaw easily beats Sterling. But I'm very confident Petr Yan beats him in a trilogy as well. I'd like to see. I know this isn't a fight that makes sense right now, but I'd like to see Aljo versus Sandhagen too. That's the fight that I would like to see. Forget about titles. If I was picking out fights, I would do Petr Yan versus TJ Dillashaw. Forget about the titles. Petr Yan, TJ Dillashaw, Corey Sandhagen, Aljamain Sterling, Jose Aldo versus winner. He already beat Rob Font and Marlon Vera. No, Jose Aldo versus Cruz. That's who I said before. I forgot about him. And Sandhagen versus Merab. Song Yudong versus Sean O'Malley, maybe. Pedro Munoz versus Ricky Simon or Ricky Simone, however you pronounce his name. I forgot. And I always forget that one. So there you go. Maybe I'll do a bantamweight matchmaking. I don't know. What's up, Joey? Thoughts on Ngannou Fury? Will that be a fight that happens? It's very possible that it happens. It seems like Ngannou is very adamant that he wants that as part of his new deal. So it's possible, and Fury's definitely going to want it because he's going to destroy Ngannou. So it's very possible that it happens. I don't have any desire to see it whatsoever. It's not a fight that I wish to see at all, but I'm not a boxing fan, so there's really not much, for me there personally. And Ngannou's going to get wrecked. Ngannou isn't even that good of an MMA striker. He just has nasty power, let alone going in there against what's considered one of the best heavyweight boxers. So, and right now is the best heavyweight boxer, I guess. If TJ beats Sterling, we could get TJ versus Aldo for the title. Very true. Very true. They're working on main eventing the Hardy versus Diego card. Ew. Joey, who would win at welterweight, Khabib or GSP? GSP. I don't think Khabib would be able to ragdoll GSP. I mean, GSP now, I don't know. But GSP in his prime? No. GSP was a far more refined striker than Khabib was. And GSP wouldn't be terrified of the takedown. So, then I think GSP would go out there, stuff the takedowns, and outstrike, outjab Khabib Nurmagomedov and win the fight. But it'd be very compelling. But now, Khabib's retired. GSP's retired. We're never going to see it. Just watched Vera versus O'Malley. First 2.5 minutes. Very clearly O'Malley was winning. You seem very biased against Sean. It wasn't very clearly at all. I watched it multiple times and even recently myself. It was very close, borderline even, the first 2.5 minutes until the nerve got hit. And after that, it was a one-sided beatdown where O'Malley got flash KO'd. So, we can just agree to disagree. French fries, you watched it recently with me. How did the first 2.5 minutes go? Give me your honest opinion. We watched it in the members only Discord recently. You tell me. Was Sean O'Malley clearly dominating, or was it 50-50? I want to know. Give me your honest opinion. I know we already talked about it, but I don't remember. What about Fury versus Ngannou? Boxing rules, MMA gloves. Who y'all got? Boxing rules, MMA gloves. I don't know how that would work, so I'd probably still take Fury. How can anyone... Oh, I didn't even see this message, French fries. I didn't even see this message. How can anyone say O'Malley was clearly winning? They didn't even throw that many shots, and there was not damage done until Vera hit the nerve. So there you go. I didn't even see that message from you, French fries. I appreciate you. That's what happened. I mean, when are the 274 predictions coming out? Next Monday, Tuesday-ish? Maybe Sunday at the earliest, which is crazy. That's right around the corner. Do you think this weekend's card is going to be better than last week's? Let me take a look at the card. Let me take a look. Oh, I clicked on the dumb ad again on Tapology. Driving me nuts. Okay. Upcoming fights. UFC. No, I almost did it again. Jake Collier versus Andre Arlovski. Andre Feely versus Joe Anderson. Brito. Jarrett Gordon versus Grant Dawson. Darren Elkins versus Tristan Connolly. Gerald Mershart. Christoph Jotko. Daniel Da Silva versus Francisco Figueroa. Francisco Figueredo. I think that's Devison's brother. Alexander Romanov versus Chase Sherman. This card's definitely going to be better. This card is definitely better as it stands right now. So, yes, it will be better than last week's card, which was garbage on paper, and it was okay. So, does Khamzat beat Colby? I believe that he does, but I don't believe some people who are just super confident in it. You know, I would definitely pick Khamzat in that fight, barring anything changing. But it's going to be a tough fight, especially, you know, if he does get to the later rounds. O'Malley went out on a stretcher regardless. Yes, Sean O'Malley went out on a stretcher with no serious injury. Sean was winning up until the injury. Yes, not dominating. I mean, that's so subjective. If you pause it right before the injury and you ask somebody to score before that, it was a 50-50 round. I bet you ask 100 people, it would be 50-50. Vera versus O'Malley first 2 minutes was 10 strikes versus 3, and O'Malley leg kicks were much stronger than Vera's. Not dominating, of course. But if that would have continued, O'Malley would have outstruck him. If it would have continued, but it didn't. Plus, if the fight would have gone longer, it probably would have favored Chito to O'Malley. I mean, the thing is, this is all hypotheticals. We don't need to delve into hypotheticals. But I get what you're saying, because we saw what happened. The leg was chopped, the leg was compromised, and he was then flash KO'd and stretchered out of the cage with no serious injury. We no longer need to speculate about what happened in the first 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 15 seconds, 2 minutes and 34 seconds, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. Because just briefly after that first 2.5 minutes that was competitive, O'Malley was getting carried out on a stretcher with no serious injury. So, I think Sean beats Vera 30-27. A rematch doesn't hurt him bad, but outpoints Vera for 3 rounds. That's fair enough. I'm not saying that he wouldn't. I might even pick Sean. I picked Sean O'Malley in that initial fight, too. Do you think Khamzat's next fight will be... I'm assuming you say, who do you think Khamzat's next fight will be, and who do you want it to be? Next fight, who will it be? I'll say it's going to be Usman. I want it to be Colby. I think Khamzat could potentially sit out and wait for Usman or the winner of Usman-Leon, but I hope it's Colby. I think that fight's super compelling, and both guys should earn the title shot off that win. I've watched the Burns versus Khamzat fight again. To be honest, I don't see Khamzat winning against Colby. I think the hype train will eventually fall. The Burns fight made me more confident that Khamzat could beat a guy like Colby. Wouldn't mind seeing Sean O'Malley versus Dominic Cruz. Me too. I've talked about that fight quite a bit as well. That fight is that's a very interesting fight. I agree. So, hold on 1 second, guys. Keep the questions coming, guys. Keep the questions coming. I'm just checking something out real quick. Guys, by the way, I have Rob Font versus Marlon Vera full breakdown and prediction. I have a new Nate Diaz video that I dropped last night. I have the video about UFC 274. So, guys, make sure you go check those out after this stream. On the channel. Okay. Most overrated active fighter in the UFC. Wonder didn't let his hands go this time comes to mind. Most overrated. I think a lot of people are down on Wonder Boy. Most overrated active fighter in the UFC. I don't know. I feel like I have an answer for this, but I don't know who I'm thinking right now. Who's someone that everyone thinks is like a future champion that's not even that good? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. I don't have an answer for that one, my friend. I mean, I thought Hamzat was good, but people were overrating him. But I think, people, there's a lot of just crazy people who were saying 3-weight champion. Uh, so I don't think most people understand it when I say him. I'm trying to look through and just pick somebody out that I think is super overrated. I will say, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm trying to think of someone right now that people are pretending is good, but they're not good. Maybe Derek Lewis. Maybe Tai Tuivasa. There's an answer that's going to piss a lot of people off. I'll say Tai Tuivasa because Tai Tuivasa is okay, but he almost lost to Greg Hardy recently. The power has been saving him quite a bit. Ian Gary, I think, is really overrated. Yeah, but I don't think a lot of people are that high on Ian Gary. I think Ian Gary's just high on himself. We love Wonder Boy. Yeah, I agree. Speaking of overrated fighters, who do you think is the most underrated? I got Rob Font because I rate his striking technically higher than guys like Dustin and Max. Rob Font is an underrated guy. Who else is underrated? Uh, Nah, I don't know about him. I was gonna say Shavkat. I feel like not too many people talk about Shavkat. I'll say Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith is an elite world class light heavyweight, and people shit on him all the time like he's not good. So I'll say Anthony Smith. Maybe Bilal Muhammad, but I really don't like that last performance. I don't think it proved really much. Other underrated fighter. There's some good names right there. Let me sit up in my chair real quick. There's some good names for you. Leon Edwards, for sure. Leon Edwards is one of them. So there you go. Might sound dumb, but Jack Shore's kind of overrated. People are calling him champ already. That doesn't really and this doesn't mean he's not good. Yeah, exactly. We're on the same page there. We're on the same page there. I haven't seen that many people, so that's why he didn't even come to mind. But if there is a lot of people already calling him champ, that is a little bit crazy, a little bit premature. Who is next for Volk? Would it be someone like Cejudo or Max or someone else? It's got to be Max Holloway. Got to be Max Holloway. In my opinion, Ian Gary and Paddy Pimblett are both overrated, and only reason they're being talked about is because Conor McGregor 2.0, in my opinion. Yeah, but most people are down on Paddy. That's why I don't say that he's overrated. I would say 90% of people think, Paddy's terrible or whatever. He'll never be anything. Yeah, bro, show some love to my boy Lionheart. No problem. Rockage might be the most underrated guy in terms of who's likely to win the title. Rockage is underrated because Rockage, I believe, is probably the best in the light heavyweight division. Has Bilal had a finish in the UFC? I don't remember. Paddy Pimblett is probably the most overrated. Yeah, but I don't feel like a lot of people think he's that good. I have not seen anyone even suggesting that Paddy Pimblett's going to be a champion. So, I don't know. Glover's underrated considering he's the champion. Glover is underrated. I would agree with that. People act like he's some type of scrub, but he's not. Ian Gary's last fight was so mid. I don't even remember. Oh, Darian Weeks. That was his last fight recently. That was at 273. Yeah, it wasn't that great. I agree with you on that one. But, I mean, his first fight wasn't that great either. He had done well-timed takedowns and did little damage. Yeah. It's sad, but Luque should have been able to get up. Yuri is pretty underrated, at least from what I've seen. I don't know about that. A lot of people are very high on Yuri, myself included. Would you want Volk to move up to lightweight to get double champion? If I was him, I'd do it now while Oliveira was the champ. It's going to get harder if like Islam becomes champ or Gaethje becomes champ. But I believe that Volkanovski could have success at lightweight. Volkanovski is one of the elite of the elite. Just in the UFC in general, he's one of the best pound for pound fighters. He's super well rounded. But I want to see Volk finish off the Max trilogy. I'd like to see him against Yair Rodriguez in the future. Wouldn't mind seeing against an Arnold Allen or Calvin Kattar if they can make their way to the top, or Bryce Mitchell if he can make his way to the top. There's so many different compelling matchups for Alexander Volkanovski. What's up, Keep Out? Hope you're doing well. Yuri versus Rockets will save the division from being full of old men. That's a fight that I really want to see. That's a fight that I've speculated about quite a bit. I got one of those. Why did my thing's not working no more? Okay, I think it's working. I got one of those neck cramps for a second, and then I see my thing buffering. Patty is terrible. Dude needs to work on his stand-up defense. Bad people crap on Ferguson's stand-up defense, but I believe it's better than Patty's. Yeah, Patty's still super young, but I agree. Do you think Volk would have a better chance against Habib? I think he'd have a better chance against Habib than who would have had a. Okay, I say yes, but I think he probably would have been too small. Habib would have been too strong. Arnold Allen called out Cater prediction for this fight. I'll go Arnold Allen, but I got to dig deeper into it. It's crazy Volk didn't start training until he was 22. I don't know why the question mark's there. I'm not sure, but I'll take your word for it. What did you think about the DQ with Mike Jackson? I think it was fair enough. I mean, 3 fouls within 2 minutes of each other. We need to start holding these fighters accountable. If you start handing out DQ losses, people will stop committing fouls. I just wish it was off a fence grab. I'm so sick and tired of people grabbing the fence to the point that it makes me actually irritated. And they just get away with it. Why wouldn't you grab the fence? You can get away with it. I don't see Leon, and I don't like Dean Barry's comments after the fact, saying Mike Jackson quit. I almost, that pissed me off so much that I almost made a video about that. Dean Barry needs to be cut from the UFC. You're committing 3 fouls in the span of a few minutes, and then you want to cry because the other guy quit. Cut him from the UFC. I never want to see him fight again. You know, you should be ashamed of yourself. You put raking a guy in the eye. You're kicking him in the groin. I forgot what else he did. And I get maybe it's not intentional. But rather than coming out and complaining because you got DQ'd, say, you know what? I got to work on that. I'm sorry. I apologize. It was inadvertent. Volk against anyone during fight week would be great. I agree. It's crazy that Volk used to be 500 pounds when he played rugby. All right, Joe Rogan. Who would you like to see Toporia's fight next? Probably spelled his name wrong. Yes, you did. I want to see him fight Paddy Pimblett. That's the fight that I want to see. If he's going to stay at lightweight, especially. Stop it. No, he was never 500 pounds. Yo, what's up, Joey? Was the day good? Yes, it was, Antoine. I hope your day was good as well. Can you imagine the 135 division if Suda can come back and start winning some fights? Insert him in that top 6-10 fighters is probably the deepest of any division. The division's already super deep. The division is super deep. Mike Jackson should call it a day far as his MMA career because it's going nowhere. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Mike Jackson's going anywhere in the division. Imagine what he would look like against Hamzat or Usman or Shavkat even, or even Neil Magny. He would get wrecked by all those guys. He's clearly not UFC level. The UFC only signed him to fight CM Punk, and now it's kind of, one of those things. Who's your favorite all-time fighter? Mine is Valentina. Probably Anderson Silva. How can Tony win in a 3-round fight with Chandler? Doesn't sound good for the boogeyman. A fight with a lot of volume and pressure. And Chandler will get tired if he tries to wrestle, usually. So, I think Tony can win a 3-rounder, but I would definitely be more confident it was a 5-rounder. You skipped my last comment. I didn't see it, so just post it again. Do you think Triple C fights at 135? Probably. I think most likely he fights at bantamweight. I believe Alexander Volkanovski was 215 at one point. Yeah, I don't remember. Hey, fellow, what's up, Big Fan? Who is Big Fan? Is it the guy that always changes his name quite a bit? I'm assuming since you're a member for 6 months. Thank you for being a member. Dean Barry versus Kevin Lee would be fire. Yeah, send Dean Barry over to Eagle FC. Do you like 275 so far, and who do you think could headline 276? Let's look up UFC 275. I'm going to continue to do those videos grading the pay-per-views. I've been doing it since I started my channel. It was my second ever video. Do I like it so far? It's okay. It's not my favorite. I mean, Valentina Shevchenko versus Talia Santos doesn't really intrigue me. Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk, I like it. Glover Teixeira versus Yuri, I like it. I just feel like it needs something else. I don't know what it is. It's a good fight card. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like something needs to be added to it for sure, in my opinion. Um, French fries. Thank you for the 9 months of membership. Adesanya or Usman will probably headline 276. There you go. You heard it from French fries. Uh, okay, yeah, that answers your question for 276. Yeah, I think it's probably going to either be Adesanya versus Cannonier or Usman versus Leon or both at 276, or potentially Jones versus someone at heavyweight. Jones versus, Stipe, Aspinall, Tai Tuivasa. Could you imagine Jones versus Tai Tuivasa? That'd be crazy. I remember that pic of Volk in his rugby uniform, and you just joked many years ago on Twitter. I didn't know who he was. I do remember. I seen that picture too. Are you interested in the upcoming season of Tough? No, I'm not. Mike Jackson versus Mickey Gall. Loser gets cut. Yeah, the two CM Punk opponents. Fun fact: if Chandler made Oliveira stand up after dropping him in that first round instead of going to his guard, he probably would be champ. It's very possible, but you never know. You never know. I don't see Leon beating Usman. I see Kamaru knocking Leon out. Fun fact: Nate hit and rocked Leon with the same shot Usman knocked out Masvidal. I mean, they're totally different fights, totally different stylistic matchups. I think Leon can beat Usman. I'm not sure that Leon will beat Usman, but I could totally see it happening. Jones would destroy Tai Tuivasa. Who knows how Jones is going to look like after being off for so long and you know picking up so much weight and fighting at a different weight class than he's at right. He's been at for his entire career. Do you think Blades versus Aspinall happening after seeing Curtis's tweet? I didn't see Curtis's tweet, but it's very possible. I think it makes a lot of sense. Um, you look at the division right now, and Curtis Blades is number 4. Aspinall's only number 6. Aspinall should be ranked ahead Derek Lewis. So I think it makes a lot of sense, even though 6 and 4, just for reference. Uh, I wouldn't mind seeing Costa versus Vittori too. What about you, Joey? I've actually talked about that recently. I would love to see that. That first fight was incredible. It was very enjoyable. It was fun to watch. It was back and forth. It was competitive. I'd like to see it at actual middleweight now at this point in time. You know, I'd like to see it at actual middleweight. It was actually unreasonable how easily Aspinall beat Volkov. I know it was insane. I did not expect him to beat him so dominantly by submission too. Aspinall looks like a nightmare for every heavyweight. I'm on the Aspinall train. I wasn't before, but I'm on the Aspinall train right here. Um, I think Aspinall beats Blades. His submission threat is just so good. Yeah, I mean, right now it wouldn't shock. I don't know who I'd be picking, but it wouldn't shock me if Aspinall could beat everyone ahead of him, including Francis Ngannou. All those matches, all those fights, he matches up very well with all those guys. He definitely beats Derek Lewis in my opinion, but you never know with Derek Lewis's one punch KO power. The Curtis Blades fight would be very, very interesting. But I think Aspinall could stuff the takedowns and probably outstrike him or even submit him maybe. Curtis Blades don't want to take him down because of the submission threat. I think he's faster and more athletic than Tai Tuivasa. Also, I think he could grapple Tai Tuivasa for sure. Stipe would be very interesting. Cyril Gane would be very, very interesting. And Francis Ngannou would be very, very interesting. But outside of those 3, I favor Aspinall against all those guys. So, also I saw Sergey Pavlovich versus Derek Lewis rumors. What do you think? I think it makes sense. I mean, I'm not super compelled by that matchup, but I think Derek Lewis probably beats him. But it's a rightful step down for Derek Lewis. I'm nervous for Tony Ferguson Michael Chandler fight. There's nothing you can do, man. No sense in being nervous. It's not like Volkov just stood there and did nothing either. Tom did everything right. Tom had a super impressive performance that night or that afternoon was here. Tom just went out there, took Volkov down, controlled him, and submitted him with ease. It's a very impressive performance. Leon is going to outpoint Usman 49-48. I wouldn't surprise me one bit. I see nobody is giving Tony a chance against Michael Chandler. I do. And I have always. I actually favor Tony to win that fight. We'll see what happens, but I favor Tony to win that fight. Let me close out some of these tabs real quick. All right, guys, keep submitting questions, but real quick, I want to talk about the couple things that I have in the title. We already talked about UFC Vegas 53. I think it's better than UFC Vegas 52. I'm super excited for Rob Font versus Marlon Chito Vera. I think it's a very compelling bantamweight fight. The rest of the card is okay. It's not great. It's better than last week. But at the same time, you know, we have UFC 274 coming up, which is incredible. The best fight on the card outside of the main event, Rob Font versus Marlon Vera, I would say is probably, that's hard. Best fight. I mean, I don't care about Jake Collier versus Andrei Arlovski at all. I'll say Darren Elkins, Tristan Connolly. From a activity standpoint, I think that's probably the most exciting fight on the card. It means nothing within the division, but it should be a quality fight. Two very durable, tough guys who are always in exciting fights. But the card itself is a little bit of a letdown. But I absolutely love and cannot wait for the main event. Diaz versus McGregor 3. I made a video talking about this, yesterday. You can check it out after the stream. I think the UFC wants Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 3. I think they want Nate Diaz to sit out until Conor can return. And that's kind of why they haven't been able to get into contract negotiations with Nate. That's why the Poirier fight hasn't materialized. And I think the third fight is very compelling. It's very interesting. And, I wouldn't mind seeing it for both guys. I want to see Conor fight Tony if Tony's able to beat Michael Chandler. I think that'd be super interesting. John Jones versus Stipe, I don't want to say I'm in the minority. I think it's a great fight. But I want to see John Jones just wait it out and fight Francis Ngannou, especially if Stipe can't fight till September anyway. Stipe, you haven't fought since March of 2021. You need till September 2022 to be ready. What the hell? What the hell? So, Jones versus Stipe, I don't want. The UFC wants to crown an interim champion, so they have a guy to elevate to champion if, in fact, Francis Ngannou does leave the organization. All the fight nights coming up would be pretty bad. Yeah, there's not a lot of great ones. I jumped down. Let me scoot this out a little bit. I give Tony no chance against Chandler. Horrible style matchup. I disagree. Jones' first fight back should tell us a lot, especially if he goes 3 rounds or better. I agree. It should tell us a lot about where he's at. I think Spivak versus Lewis makes more sense, and then do Volkov versus Pavlovich. I want to pronounce his name right. If Ferguson gets past Chandler, they need to reward the man big money fight with Conor McGregor for his return, which I know probably won't happen. It won't happen. I don't think they're ever going to give Tony Ferguson a Conor McGregor fight. All the fight night, I already read that. What would happen if Nate beat Conor then left? Chaos would ensue. I think if Nate beat Conor again, and I think Nate beat Conor the first 2 times, honestly, and then left, oh my goodness, Conor be crying up a storm. I think if Nate beats him in the trilogy, they'll book a 4th fight probably and pay Nate. But that'd be hilarious if Nate did that. I'd laugh so hard. Do you think Charles could become the greatest lightweight in MMA history if he breaks the title defense record with 4 and a record of 35-8? Do you like Khabib's 29-0? No, for me, it's all about level of competition. And if let's say Oliveira goes out there, Oliveira already beat Chandler. He already beat Dustin Poirier, or Poirier. I gotta stop saying the R on the end. If he beats Gaethje, then he beats Islam. I think he's already surpassed Khabib, in my personal opinion, with those 4 names alone. So I don't care about the undefeated streak. When you're fighting garbage cans, for the first half of your career. It's irrelevant about your record. Stipe versus Tuivasa will be better than Stipe versus Jones. I agree. I'd much prefer that fight. It'd be perfect to see all this hype for Jones and Ngannou just for Jones to get obliterated in round 1. Fair enough. I want to see Conor versus Dustin 4. Forget about Nate Diaz. You just want to see Conor lose again. That's what you want. But I have no desire to see that fight. We've seen Dustin beat him up twice in 2021. Why do we need to see a third time? I'm interested to see who Conor returns against, though. It's going to be very interesting to see who the UFC books against him. Hey, Joey, what's going on, Homework? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing good, Homework. It's good to see you in the live stream. I'm exiting out of this. Keep the rankings up right now. Guys, by the way, if you have not already liked the stream, I would greatly appreciate it if you would run the likes up on the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. Conor versus Masvidal is perfect. That's the fight that I want. I'm right with you. My IQ is 2. I am right with you. I want to see Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal. It's a massive fight. The UFC could do that over the summer. That would be a huge fight. One of the biggest fights they can put on. 2 stars fighting each other. Get one of them back on the winning track. You have Jorge. Isn't he on a 3-fight losing streak now? Yeah, I believe he's on a 3-fight losing streak. You have Conor. What losing streak is he on at this point? Is it just a 2? I don't even know. I can't remember off the top of my head. Get one of the guys back on the winning track. Could main event a pay-per-view. It would be a massive fight. Big pay-per-view. Lots of pay-per-view sales. And we'll get one of their stars back on the winning track. I think that's the fight to make. Who does Justin fight when he wins the title on May 7th? Islam Makhachev. If he wins the title. Interesting. I thought Shogun was retired. Yeah, I thought a lot of guys on this upcoming card were retired. You know, Joe Lozon, Cowboy Cerrone, OSP, Shogun, all should be retired at this point. Conor McGregor versus Donald Cerrone 2 would be perfect. Stop it. Stop it. They would keep booking Conor for rematches until he comes out on top. Then they'll say he had the definitive win. You're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's what they want to do. If Conor went out there after Dustin finished him twice, if Conor went out there and squeaked out a split decision win, they'd be like, oh, chapter closed. The Dustin Poirier chapter's closed. The fight's behind me. I gotta win. Could you imagine if Dustin had a split decision win? No, Conor's only on a 2-fight losing streak because he beat Donald Cerrone. So that's what they would do. I mean, look at the second Nate fight. They acted like it was a definitive win. It was a very close fight, and I thought Nate won. Dustin is just better. Simple as that. I agree. Jorge on a 3-fight losing skid like Ferguson. Oh, okay. You were talking about Jorge. You think Nate best Conor the second time? I got to go back and watch it. Yes, I did. I just answered it. I didn't even see that question. I watched it again recently, but yes, I thought Nate Diaz won that fight, but it was close. If that's the case, who do you have in Gaethje versus Makhachev? That's a very interesting matchup because if Makhachev can't get Justin Gaethje down, he is going to get wrecked on the feet. But if Makhachev can get Gaethje down, Gaethje's defensive jiu-jitsu is awful. I just have a bad feeling it's Conor Masvidal happens. Jorge would clinch him against the cage for most of it. Oh, well. Dustin P has been teasing a move to 170. Said he's interested in Gilbert Burns. You know, I don't want to see him against Gilbert Burns. I don't know if he said he's interested. No, I didn't see that. But fair enough. Hamzat is a hype train about to die down. You talk about it depends on competition. While Hamzat was fighting bums, then everyone is saying, "Oh, Hamzat is good." I don't know what the question is there. I had Conor round 1, 2, and 4. I don't remember what I scored it. How does Kevin Holland work his way back to the top of 170 or 185? Forget he lost to the best of the best at 185 and had a weird no contest after finishes. Cowboy, what's next? I don't know what's next for Kevin Holland, to be honest. He's in a weird spot. I don't think he has a lot of success. I don't think he has a lot of success at 170. He already has that win over Cowboy Oliveira. So what are you saying? Then after finishes Cowboy. Okay. I think he needs to jump into the top fight a top 15 ranked opponent. But I don't necessarily want to see him against Shavkat. He would get wrecked. So if Kevin Holland wants to work his way up, maybe a Santiago Ponzinibbio fight would be interesting, or a Li Jingliang fight would be interesting. That would make sense for Kevin Holland. Li Jingliang is what I'll book him for. I don't think he's ever going to fight the elite of the elite at 85 again. Islam and Justin would look a lot like the Khabib fight. I agree. I think Islam will be the champ in 2 fights from here. I mean, he could be one. He could be his next fight, honestly. Hamzat was beating Burns in that no one had seen before. That's what makes him good. Plus, he proved it by literally beating Gilbert Burns. Yeah, Hamzat impressed me. I'm not one of the naysayers after the Burns fight. Who do you think will have the best possibility to be the next double champion? It's been a while since the last one. Probably Volkanovski, if he can move up to 155. Holland should move to 55. I don't know if he can. Kevin Holland can fight Wonderboy. That would be a fun fight. I'd agree with you. That's not a bad one. Islam and Charles Oliveira is the fight that I want to see. Me too. I'm dying for that fight. That was on my list of most compelling fights of 2022. And you're not going to watch Tough? Haha, I feel you. But what about the fights and the trash talk? I can't stomach it. I don't think I can watch it, man. I might end up, but I doubt it. I very much doubt it. I don't care about the drama. If I do watch it, I'll just fast forward and watch the fights. But I don't even know if I feel like doing that, to be quite honest. Tough is just most of the time low-level MMA. The barrier to entry for Tough and the UFC in general over the last few years has been terrible. Who do you got for a late 2023 welterweight title fight of Hamzat defending versus Shavkat? I'll take Hamzat. That'd be a very compelling matchup. A lot of people think that's an inevitable fight. Hamzat Chimaev versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. Both guys look so good. So Shavkat's going to be at the top of that division very soon. He's going to beat Neil Magny soon, probably creep into that top 10. And then who knows where it goes from there. What's up, Sinister? Hope you're doing well. Nunes and Pena are the least interesting coaches ever. I would agree with you. Colby needs to fight a top contender in his division next for sure. I want to see the Hamzat fight. Hamzat makes a lot of sense. I mean, if Colby beats Hamzat, he can make a claim to a third title shot, even if it's Kamaru Usman. Who else is he going to fight where he's going to get that name value? I mean, what's he going to call out, Wonderboy? I mean, he's going to fight Bilal. He's going to fight Gilbert. Sean Brady. I don't know. I don't know who's he going to fight. You see one championship signed with Amazon for UFC shows. I did see that. That's interesting. I hope they change the timing. Last season, Tough winners are very interesting. Fair enough. Sprinkles the unicorn. Fair enough. I think Kevin Holland is another Nate Diaz. He won't get a title, but he will still be a fan favorite because of his ego. Kevin Holland, I think Kevin Holland has a very fan-friendly fighting style as well. And he's gonna stick around for a while for sure. He's definitely really good, but I don't think he's championship level caliber. So what was the last Tough season you liked? Mine was season 15 with Cruz in favor. I don't remember any of them me really enjoying. I don't even know which one was the last one I watched. I don't think I watched Cruz in favor. Maybe I did. I think I definitely did watch Cruz in favor. If Chiesa won, I think that was one of the ones I watched, but I don't remember having a favorite ever. Like, I don't remember ever watching a season of The Ultimate Fighter and saying, yeah, I really love that season. It's always been, it's okay. It's funny, after the Burns Chimaev fight, people want Burns versus Shavkat. I mean, what are they trying to do to Burns? I mean, seriously. Burns takes on Hamzat when no one else wanted to. And, now they want to throw him to Shavkat. It's fun. Okay, are you going to watch PFL tomorrow? I don't know. Probably not. Who's even fighting? Fill me in. I don't even feel like Googling it. I'm tired right now. If you would fill me in on who's fighting at PFL tomorrow. I'm not even sure. I am not even sure who's fighting tomorrow on PFL, and I do not feel like Googling it. Should Burns versus Hamzat 2 happen because of how close the fight was? No. I want to see Hamzat versus Colby Covington. I think the fight was very competitive, but I gave the edge to Hamzat. But I could have seen it going either way. But I'm happy with what we got. They can fight down the line. They can fight down the line again. If Hamzat keeps winning, Gilbert Burns can string a couple wins together. Who knows? Maybe Hamzat will defend a title against Gilbert Burns someday. It's just, it'll be inevitable if they both continue to win. But I don't need to see a rematch right now. I really don't. So I don't know a lot of people who are asking for a rematch either. I really don't. I haven't heard a lot of people clamoring for that. So let's see. Exactly 1 year ago today, on April 27th, 2021, I had 63 subscribers. That is absolutely wild. That is crazy. 63 subscribers 1 year ago. Now we're creeping up on 3,000. Creeping up on 3,000. But yeah, I'm super excited. I'm just so happy, and I can't believe tomorrow's already Thursday. So, I mean, it's almost Saturday at this point. We're basically a week out from UFC 274. And that card, I already made a video about, I am super hyped for. I really love Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. I'm really looking forward to that card. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope there's no injuries, please. No injuries, no pullouts. Oliveira versus Gaethje. Co-main. Co-main. Rose Namajunas, Carlos Barza 2. Featured fight. Chandler, Ferguson. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love those 3 fights. If you haven't seen my video of me talking about UFC 274, go check it out after this stream. All right, guys. Any more questions, throw them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to end this stream a little bit early. I'm a bit tired anyway. So if you guys want to continue the chat, I'll go at least an hour usually. Fill the chat with questions. Other than that, I'm going to slip out of here. What's up, guys? Okay, now we got someone pretending to... See? This happens all the time. Now we got someone pretending to be Shannon Sharp in the chat. And if Shannon Sharp video calls me on Instagram, I'm going to faint at this point. Because every time we see some fake name in here, now I'm always going to think that after Chris Curtis. So we got some guy pretend has his name as Shannon Sharp. What's up, Shannon Sharp? Usman's brothers on Tough. I did not know that. I think I did hear that before. No, I do remember hearing that. How long do you think Charlie Olives can hang on to the title? I really think if he makes it past Gaethje and Islam, I really think if he makes it past Gaethje and Islam, he will be around for a long time. Yeah, if he makes it past Gaethje and Islam, I don't know who he'll lose to. LOL, I don't know what that LOL is, but I'm going to have to call you after. There's no way. There's no way. I absolutely refuse to believe that Shannon Sharp. Just outright don't believe it. You just have that as your name on YouTube. So, interesting name choice. Very strange. But there's no way. There's no way. But now I'm wondering. Now I'm wondering after Chris Curtis now has put that thought into my head constantly. If it by some chance it is you, I apologize. But I got to work on my UFC 274 predictions very, very soon. Very, very soon. Because we're 10 days away right now. But I don't like to make them too early in case we end up getting a pull out. And then I wasted my time making a video. I just make it a members only video. Speaking of video calls, guys, go follow me on Instagram. Go follow me on Twitter at MMA Joey C. I would greatly appreciate it. And you guys can message me on there and tweet at me and tell me I'm dumb when I say something dumb. Do you see Jack McGregor joining MMA when he's older? I have no idea. I mean, what is he, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old? Who knows? Probably, I'll say no. Probably not. If they don't make Colby versus Hamzat, I could see them making Hamzat versus Bilal on the Abu Dhabi card. That is very possible. I just really hope they make that Hamzat Colby fight. I think that's the fight to make. And I think if Colby somehow turns that fight down, he's going to hear so much shit. Can you imagine if Colby Covington refuses to fight Hamzat? Oh, he's never going to hear the end of it. He is never, ever, ever going to hear the end of it. But the only other fight that makes sense outside of the title is Bilal Muhammad. I don't want to see him fight. You know, Leon Edwards would be interesting, but Leon's fighting for the title. So if Leon loses to Usman, who would want to see that? Uh, you know, I mean, it's still interesting, but you get my point. Gilbert Burns, he just beat. Bilal's on a winning streak. Vicente Luque just lost. Wonderboy's on a losing streak. Jorge Masvidal's on a losing streak. So outside of Sean Brady, who's sitting at number 9, just weird. So, uh, I think Wonderboy tweeted him versus Nick or Nate. What do you think? I mean, who wants to see that? Who wants to see Nick Diaz fight again? Did Wonderboy not watch the Robbie Lawler fight? Nick Diaz quit mid-fight without even absorbing any serious shots, and Robbie Lawler definitely took it easy on him. I'll say that for 100% fact. Definitely took it easy on him. Colby won't fight Hamzat. I think he's looking for paydays now, unless it's a total fight. I mean, Colby versus Hamzat should be a big payday. I mean, that's the biggest fight you can get in the division. The Hamzat fight is the biggest fight in the division right now, outside of the title probably. Hamzat might even be bigger than the title at this point. I think Hamzat's name value is just insane. So the name recognition, the popularity, the exposure you can get from more people probably know Hamzat Chimaev at this point than they know Colby Covington. So Prime Anderson Silva versus Prime Muhammad Ali boxing. Who wins? I don't know. I don't know what Prime Muhammad Ali looked like in boxing. I've only seen little clips and bits and pieces here and there. So, but I mean, I don't know, man. I have no idea. I don't even know. I mean, we haven't even really seen Anderson as a pure boxer up until recently, and he's far out of his prime. If Nick Diaz comes back, he should just fight Matt Brown, then call it quits. If Nick Diaz comes back, I mean, I'm not even gonna want to watch that. I mean, he quit in the fight against Robbie Lawler, and it was sad to see. He was out of shape, came in, couldn't even make the weight class, and then he fought like that and quit mid fight. Just, nope, I don't want to fight anymore. Please, no more. I was an early sub, Joey. Remember those days? Yeah, I do, Big Rocker. You were early before 1,000 for sure, right? You were before 1,000 subs, if I remember correctly. It's crazy. It's crazy. We're on the verge of 3,000 right now. Here, I'll throw it up on the chat right now. We've actually gained a couple subs in the last hour or so. It'll update when it pops up. It'll update real quick. We were at 2,673. We are at, I don't know if we said we're at. We were at, I think I said 2,673 subscribers right here. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Now someone's going to unsubscribe so that pops away. And if you're watching and you're not subscribed, you know what you got to do. Go do it right now. Those early days were kind of crazy before he had the new mic. It's crazy how much better. When I listen to the old mic quality, I hate it. It drives me nuts. I'm like, oh, I should have got this sooner. How's Joey? What's up, Jens? I hope you're doing well. Congratulations. Thank you. I guess. Thank you. I appreciate it. Guys, if anybody wants to become a member, join our members only Discord. It's $3 a month. You can sign up in the link in the description. And you also get badges next to your name in the chats and in the comments. And you also get a bunch of custom emojis, including the Hamzat Chimaev emoji to use. But we're talking MMA in the Discord every single day. You know, all the latest breaking news gets posted in there, and we're always discussing it in there. And if you sign up for 1 month, you'll be in the Discord forever. We have about 25, 30 people in the members only Discord right now. So if you want to sign up, the link is in the description, and join our community to discuss MMA every single day. Good for you, man. I can't remember how I came across you last year. Well, at least you came across me, right, Half-Breeder? Appreciate you, Half-Breeder. What about the NMF versus the BMF too? I have no desire to see Wonderboy versus Jorge Masvidal too. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't want to see that fight. That fight's not compelling. I guess it kind of makes sense, but I'd rather see Jorge fight, you know, I don't even know. I don't even know who Jorge's going to fight. Conor. He could fight Nate again. There's not a lot of good matchups for him right now. I mean, who's Jorge going to fight? I guess that makes kind of... I wouldn't... Give me Jorge versus Vicente Luque. Jorge versus Vicente Luque. That's the fight to see. I would watch Nate versus Jorge too. So would I. I love Wonderboy, but even if he's striker, they're gonna wrestle. F him. Yeah, I say do Jorge versus Vicente. Do Wonderboy versus. I wouldn't mind seeing the Sean Brady fight, but Sean's definitely gonna wrestle him. Santiago Ponzinibbio, maybe. Santiago Ponzinibbio. Jorge versus Gilbert Burns. That'd be fun as well. I wouldn't mind seeing that as well. Jorge versus Connor's all that makes sense to me. Both guys need to win. One of them will. I agree, Jason. I said that earlier on this stream, actually. Good for you, man. I can't remember. Where do you see your channel being 5 years from now? Hopefully over 100,000. I wonder, do you guys think we can hit over 100,000 subs in 5 years from now? So that'd be 2027. 100,000 subs. I think we can do it. At this point, anything's possible. In my opinion, at this point, anything is possible. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll. I never would have thought we were almost at 3,000 in 1 year. You know, we haven't even hit 13 months yet, and we're almost at 3,000. I mean, from everything I've read and researched, everything I've seen about YouTube, it takes a couple years to really get, of doing this, to really get a solid, following. And it's crazy that it's already started. Are you sad we may never see Zabit again? Yes, I'm very sad about Zabit Magomedsharipov. It looks like he's probably never going to fight again. At this point, I don't think he will. There's been too many rumors that he never wants to fight and that he's injured and he's having surgery and this and that. It's just one of those things. I don't know if we'll ever see him fight again. It will definitely be one of the biggest what ifs ever. I mean, there's a lot of hardcore MMA fans probably that even follow this channel that haven't even seen Zabit Magomedsharipov fight. That's how long he's been out. I'm surprised they aren't trying to do the Jorge versus Nate rematch. They were trying to do it, if you remember. There was talk about it at the end of 2020 to do it in 2021, and nobody wanted to see it. So they decided not to do it. But that could be a fight that the UFC is willing to make. That's a big money fight. Colby will most likely say Hamzat almost lost to a guy named Gilbert and then turned down the fight. Makes no sense to me. I think he's going to look really, really bad if he turns down the fight. I'm glad I caught Zabit's last fight. Yeah, me too. It's sad. Very true. I've definitely never seen Zabit fight. That's crazy. And I'm sure there's a lot like you that have never seen Zabit fight. And he's an amazing fighter. Has a gas tank issue, but he's an amazing fighter. A lot of people thought he was a future champion, at 45. So it kind of sucks. I always was dying to see him versus Jair. Is it a bad thing to constantly forget the whole time you think I should see a doctor? Maybe. I constantly forget all the time too, though. So I forget what I say from one sentence to the next. That's why I'm glad some of you guys can call me out if I'm inconsistent, because half the time I don't remember what I said. I just keep giving you my opinion, and it's usually the same. Watch Zabit versus Kyle Bochniak, I think his name is. That was a very fun fight. Agreed. With both of you guys. Let's see. Before I go, guys, if you have any final questions, throw them in the chat. But I'm going to go get a link. I'm going to get a link from my YouTube studio. Well, that's videos. The Nate Diaz video is doing very good as well. Zabit retired. I don't think he's officially retired yet. Okay, guys. Let's see. If there's any final questions. Do you agree with TJ that he beats Aljo easily? I do. I do as well. I do. I think he beats Aljo with no problem. I don't see where hold on one second. I think it's this, right? Yes. I don't think he has very many issues with Aljamain Sterling. I mean, what is Aljo going to outstrike him? That's not happening. I don't think he's going to take him down. TJ's got great defensive wrestling and even offensive wrestling. TJ has more variety of attacks. He has more power. I mean, depending on if TJ Dillashaw comes back and just looks awful, that's possible, but I doubt that's going to happen. He looked decent against Corey Sandhagen, even though I thought he lost. I keep getting foggy brain. I think it's from smoking weed since I was 14. It might very well be. Who do you want to see Darren Till return against, assuming his grappling and conditioning has improved while training with Hamzat? I don't know. Maybe Edmund Shabazian. Book me for Edmund Shabazian. TJ's better on the feet than Sterling. Yeah, almost everyone's better on the feet than Aljo. When are you going to do a video about USADA? I have no idea. My friend. I'll keep that in mind. You think Sterling is the most disrespected champion right now? For sure. And people are overboard, but I agree with a lot of it. Shavkat versus Wonderboy. Shavkat's got to fight with Neil Magny, and Shavkat's going to beat Wonderboy. But that'd be interesting, and that'd be a good test for Shavkat. Dudes always try to compare Aljo beating Sandhagen quickly, and TJ had a battle. TJ did beat Corey with a torn knee. Yeah, and MMA math doesn't work. I'd never use MMA math. Aljo's striking was way better in the Vera fight than I don't know what happened. His stand-up is horrible. I agree. I mean, his stamina is just atrocious. I mean, not stamina. Sorry, I read that. I was thinking of something else. His striking is just atrocious. Aljamain Sterling, I mean, his stamina is good. His striking has just looked, I mean, I don't know. Like, is he trying to be unpredictable? I don't know what he's doing. But the striking against Petr Yan in this rematch at UFC 273 was damn atrocious. When are you getting your next guest on? I have no idea, Ginge. I have no idea. I really don't. But I'm going to do my first interview probably in June for Chris Curtis. So you can at least get that, Ginge. We're going to see how that's going to go. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't believe I'm happy that he watches the channel and is a fan of the channel. So that's pretty crazy. And that's an interesting development because who knows when I would eventually actually got the guts to do that, because I just feel weird asking people stuff like that. So there you go. I'm slowly starting to fall in love with MMA, considering I barely know anything about it. If you watch my show with Skip Bayless, all we do is cover NFL and NBA. Dude, stop. There's no. This is not how. This isn't. You're not Shannon Sharp, dude. So that's kind of really strange. If you are, send me a message on IG right now at MMA Joey Sig. Send me a message, like Chris Curtis did. I just find that hard to believe, man, and it's just very strange. It's very, very strange to try to portray a former athlete, celebrity, whatever you want to call it, on the internet. Very weird. But I've been caught in this exact same circumstance before. So just in case, go ahead and send me a message on IG if it is in fact really you. And I'll probably faint on air. So there you go. Other than that, I'm just not going to, I mean, that this sentence makes no sense. You know, there's no point in reacting to it because I'm just done talking about it. Chris Curtis is the G for sure, 100%, and a fan of the channel, which is awesome. First good interview will be great for the channel. Yep. Lamal Shannon Sharp. I know, it's hilarious. This is just very strange. I'm waiting for this IG message, my friend. I'm waiting for it. Let's see. I'm checking my messages right now. Let's go look. Shannon Sharp. Let's go find him. I'm looking at his. If I were to really start getting a message from here, I'd probably faint. But there's no way. There's no way. But we'll see. You can feel free to send me a message. Other than that, there you go. I have no clue who Shannon Sharp is, and like me, Joey, former football player. Now he's like a ESPN analyst. It's not that weird, to be honest. It's hilarious. It's very strange. Skip, Shannon, let me trade you in BJJ. Yeah, so very, very, very strange. But I guess at least you're watching the channel, so I appreciate that. But let's keep it to the MMA questions and not the weird things pretending to be other people, because I find it very bizarre. So, all right, guys. Any last minute questions? If not, go follow me on Twitter at MMA Joey C. Go follow me on Instagram at MMA Joey C. Become a member and join our members only Discord. If you do sign up to become a member, just comment on something to let me know, because the Discord link expires every once in a while, so I have to repost it for the members only. You get a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. You get extra live streams. You get the badges next to your name. You get the emojis, all that good stuff. And we can talk on there in the Discord. That's where I'm always in the Discord, talking to you guys about MMA, all the latest news. So feel free to do that. Until next time, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. And also, guys, do me a favor. Go check out my recent Nate Diaz video. I'm going to post a link right here for you guys to easily click to. And make sure you go watch it and like it. Help the channel blow up. All the videos recently have been doing very, very well. The channel is growing fast. I feel like it's about to explode. Go watch that video right now. So apparently Shannon Sharp's going to send the message. Let's see it. Send it right now from a fake Instagram account that you're probably making up right now. So I'm not even going to stay on, but feel free to send that message if it's really you, and I'll be shocked and I will apologize next live stream. Go watch that Nate Diaz video. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good night to you guys.